just mirrors or spinach sugar. There's spaghetti models and empty rum bottles and sometimes Louis says hi.
North of the water, stay away from the golf.
And don't have no worries 'cause we're drunk donkey nation. Everybody now. Lines where the page. You know he'll be tracking every move that makes. You know it's lines where the page. You know he won't let us all get blown away. Did I ever tell you the story of the drunk donkey? Once upon a time, there was this weather woman. You can come as a pilot, stay kind of quiet, but you know you love watching Mike's face. Put your chrome head shirt on, watch it live on your phone, and drink drunk donkey beer all day. Mike's grab the page. You know he'll be tracking every move that makes. Mike's grab the page.
What's up, everybody? Getting ready, fixing to go live. Everybody likes it when I say fixing. Fixing. Good morning, Shelly Ross. All right, there we are. Camera's working. What's that? Bam! Boom! All right, get your drums out. Happy Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Good morning. We went live yesterday, so it's got me all messed up. We were doing 3 days a week for the last few months. Now it's every day. Even when there's nothing to talk about, we'll talk about nothing. So we're midweek. Let's say hey to everybody. Somebody yesterday posted on YouTube. What is this, Romper Room? I think I even made a sign one season. We called this the Romper Room session because we all grew up watching the Romper Room. I see Joe. I see Eric. I see Mimi. I see Sean. I see Steve. All right, so what's up, everybody? This is Mike here. This is Mike's weather page. We talk tropics. We talk weather. We talk dogs and beer and fun stuff. It's our Daily Brew. Brought to you by ABC Fine Wine and Spirits, located here in sunny Florida. Not so sunny in the next couple of days. We got some rain coming. I'll have to show everybody. The little bit of tropical juice actually pulling up from that wave, believe it or not. It's going to be coming up towards Florida. I can't believe it. So we'll show you that. Tropics have slowed down. GFS, big fat zero. So we'll talk about that. So right now, if you're tuning in, stress level, we should do like a DEFCON. We'll do like a stress level meter 1 to 5, and 5 being the worst. So stress level is at a 1. Unless you live in Central America, you get a lot of rain coming. But yeah, so good morning. We talk weather, and yeah, this is Louie. No hunter today. We're going to stick to one dog a day. The first dog that runs up to me gets to be on TV, and that today would be Louie. Hey, Erica from Cleveland, Ohio. How you doing? What's up that way, man? Ryan Anderson, how's it going? Yep, rainy season starting in Tampa. Eric, it's hot. We got record heat brewing. The Gulf of Mexico is going to get hotter, 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 hotter. Jessica over on YouTube, what's up? We are streaming live on YouTube and Twitter. Yeah, Sean, I don't know. I think our beer is out of stock everywhere. We're going to have to work on something. Big Storm did an awesome job, but we had more demand and then supply right now. So that's not good. I got to turn my audio off. I'm getting all these notifications. Good morning, Loretta Reed, Philip Davis. What's up, Renee? So, all right, so real quick. So what's going on? All right, so tropics, Mike the Hype. That's right, Joe. Getting it. So as expected, now that the GFS is backed off, I am now the hyper. I went back and read all my posts, and I don't think one time I made anybody believe that I believe the GFS was to be taken very seriously. So I think we did very well on this storm. What I do is show all the possibilities. And if you follow me and you go back and read all my posts, most of my posts said lots of questions with that GFS, right, Louis? I did not fill up my truck to head towards the Gulf, that's for sure. All right, so let's talk about the weather. Hey, listen, so I was on Furman yesterday. I'm going to reshare that here in a little bit. We had a really good Furman Live yesterday with me and Jason Sutton. Had a good time. The live is online. My eye's a little better, by the way. I appreciate all the people worried. Shelly's like, oh my God, everybody was worried about your eye. There's John Ferguson down there. What's up, Greg Montgomery? How's it going, Mr. Furman? All right, so a couple of things I got saved up here I want to show you. Let's see. First one, let's do this one. All right. Funny little story here. So we have Thursday night, I'll be live with Dennis Phillips live on his show. We're going to talk about the tropics. We're going to talk about long-range forecasting. We're going to talk about hyping, and we're going to have a good time. For some reason, people think that we don't like each other. But that's not true. We're really good friends. He's followed my family for years, lots of years, over a dozen years now. Good friends. We'll talk about all that Thursday. But, man, it gets people stirred up in Tampa Bay. But anyway, I'll be there Thursday night. We'll post that. It'll be Thursday night if you want to watch me and Dennis live on his show. That'll be a lot of fun. Let's talk about this. Let's just jump right into weather. But first I want to show you my trophy because Julie was cleaning out her car. And I didn't share this, but here it was the trophy that they awarded me at the Governor Hurricane Conference. So very proud of this. I'm going to find a nice spot to hang it. It was a beautiful award ceremony, and definitely will cherish this one forever because this was a big deal. So thanks again to the Governor's Hurricane Conference for that. And I got to find a spot to hang it. And I'll do that later today, but I wanted to show that off. All right, so here's what we got. We got a Central American Gyre. We've talked a lot about that. We have a tropical wave currently right now, and as you can see, it's right here on the surface charts, kind of sandwiched in there. We can see a better shot here. Let me pull it up. Caribbean surface chart. There we go. So there's what we got. We got a little low pressure, right along that ITZN. Intertropics. Brain fart. Intertropics convergence zone. But anyway, there it is. Tropical wave. That's what we're looking at. And that's what we've been talking about. That's what I've been hyping. So the GFS. All right. So real long story short before I lose everybody. So the GFS is backed off a little bit. So if you're here to find out what's going on, we always say trends are your friends, right? We still have some ensembles pulling to the north that I'm going to show. Some of the CMC, some of the Euro. There's still a big question mark. 100%. When you get these big, large Central American gyres out here, they call them that. Pretty much flow counterclockwise. There's always a chance, and that's what the GFS picked on. But as far as operational runs go, the main GFS is backed off. And remember, it was showing a big bad Category 2, Category 3 hurricane in the Gulf for next week. So it got everybody riled up. And why would I mention that? Because the GFS has been one of the top performing models in the last several years. So you got to almost believe it. Now, if it was the Canadian, the Navy, other models, but the GFS has been one of the top performing models here. And this is a good little graphic I saw on Twitter, basically showing you forecast track error once the system gets going. But GFS really was past 5 days. GFS was very well as far as track error goes. So the GFS has been good, right? So what does this mean? Well, it means we're back at square one. It means we look at spaghetti models, right? It means we just can't go all in on one model. That's what we love about spaghetti models. That's what started this whole thing for me, was looking at all the models, right? And now we're right back at it with all the science and all the data and all the new versions. Guess what? it made a mistake. And everybody makes mistakes. The model is not as good as everybody thinks. So, I love all the Monday morning quarterbacks that come out and, I told you, nobody knows. But if you take a blend, statistics, look at all the models, it was the outlier. And I've mentioned that a bazillion times. So far, we'll see. I'm not giving up. Never say never. We have a tropical wave right now down in the Caribbean. And it's looking kind of juicy right now, actually. If you look at the, we still have some, probability maps showing a little bit of, possibility. It's not giving up on it yet. I'm just telling you, the trend is that this tropical wave here, this is 72 hours out. 72 hours out. The trend is that this thing is going to trek over a lot of land and maybe plop out over here on the Pacific. So that is kind of the trend. Trends are your friends. We do have a lot of shear. We have a lot of African dust. That was always talked about. We have a lot of Gulf shear. This dust plume is coming over. It's pretty fascinating. This is a cool map here on My Fox Hurricane. Has a good colored map if you want to take a look at it. But basically, this is a Friday dust map. And we got a big plume of dust flying in from Africa. So originally, it looked like we were going to have a little window of development right here. And it looked like the dust was going to stay to the north. That was the original thinking. But we do have a big dust plume. This is Friday night, 11 o'clock. Everybody always thinks it's fascinating to talk about dust, but it's very common early season. We get a lot of African Saharan winds that come across the Atlantic. I mentioned this yesterday. There's a lot of years that the Atlantic stays a little cooler than normal because these dusts actually can act like a blanket over the Atlantic and cause the Atlantic to stay temporarily cooled a little bit early season. But people are already talking about it. I got people in Belize messaging us. Believe it or not, I got people in the Lesser Antilles that have been posting on our page talking about these sunsets. So yeah, by this weekend, tomorrow and Friday, we're going to see this dust plume into the Gulf of Mexico. And then what that means is a little more hazier skies. Also keeps the atmosphere a little drier, but not necessarily 100%. It's more of a mid-level deterrent to hurricane formation more than anything. We're still going to have afternoon storms. I'm going to show you, but the rainy season almost is going to get kicked off into high gear this weekend for Florida. So it's not always a guarantee it dries up afternoon storms. It's more of a large-scale inhibitor to hurricanes. Anytime you get this big wrapping, like the swirl. Look at the synonym and swirl. A pastry. Every time we show dry air ingestion on these upper, middle level storms, a lot of it is dry air. So these systems help, ingest dry air. As far as weekly afternoon rains, it doesn't really do much. But you do get nice sunsets. You get good sunrises because you get little dust particles in the air. Dust particles reflect sunlight, and you get these big, vibrant sunsets. So if you like photos and you like sunsets, then this is your weekend in the Gulf of Mexico. There you go. There you have it. Let's go to the individual models. Let's take a look at the wave real quick on weathernerds.org. We're going to take a look at a couple things. I'll get into that here later. Let's just go back to take a look at the satellite imagery right now. We do have storms again across central parts of the U.S. That's been kind of the storyline. Boom, big storms. But let's stick to tropics. And here's our tropical wave. Looking juicy, right? We got the second one of the year coming off of Africa right now too, by the way. So there you go. Let's just leave this up and drink some coffee. There's our tropical wave. Big gyro of moisture for Central America. And we have people down there watching, believe it or not. GFS is having a rough start, Shelby. Yep. Everybody say cinnamon. Alexa, how do you pronounce cinnamon?
I pronounce that cinnamon, but I'm always working on how I say things, and I might not have it right.
Okay. She says she's always working hard. What's up, Ashley Nagel? Good morning. Jamie, good morning from Pensacola. Jamelia Rooney from Cape Cod. How you doing? Danielle Fleming, how's it going? The Atlantic is about normal right now. The Gulf of Mexico is a little warmer than average right now. Mike Soul is talking about humidity has picked up. Correct. It's like a switch, man. The rainy season is going to be here. And I'll show you here in a second why. We actually have moisture sliding up to, hey, you just got notified. Guess what? I go live every day at 9:19. You don't need Facebook to tell you that. Orlando rains are going to be off and on. It sucks, Jeffrey. I wish I had the answer, but we definitely have rainy season's back. We had little thunderstorm pop-up storms here through middle Florida yesterday. Ryan, dust does make lightning a little more active. I don't know about Saharan dust, but obviously, like when we get these volcanic eruptions, we get a lot of extra lightning. But there we go. All right, so here's our wave. I had this image up here. This is put out by this was actually put out by NOAA, and it shows you the rainfall potential for Central America starting tonight or tomorrow night through Monday night, and there you go. Heavy to extreme rainfall. That's our wave. Now, sometimes these broad level circulations, this is what the GFS was having a hard time with. They call these CAGs, Central American Gyre, and it's basically just a large area of monsoonal type rains, right? And that's what we got. So that's happening. We'll see what the models show. Let's look at the models now. So there you go. Central American Gyre, a lot of rain. Boom, boom, boom. GFS is back down. That's good news. This is a good Doc V here on Twitter. I got a couple things I posted. I just wanted to show, so I don't want to lose it. But Doc V here has pointed out that the GFS for 7 days in a row, 30 consecutive runs, the GFS has showed a almost hurricane, tropical cyclone into the Gulf of Mexico. 7 straight days the GFS has been showing this, and today it has stopped. Big fail for the GFS. Usually, let me go to Tropical Tidbits now. Are we streaming live? Yes, we are. All right. Usually when you get early season inconsistency with the models, you'll get one run show it, one run not, one run show it, might windshield wiper a couple days off. It did show signs that it was going to be a weak sheared system. That made sense, but then it was right back to a hurricane the next run. So I have not seen an epic fail like this in a long time as for one of our consistent models. So, maybe I went in a little too much talking about it every run, but I was really intrigued by the fact that it's been updated so frequently the last 2 years, the GFS, and it performed so well last year. I was really, now I'm kind of shocked that it failed so bad. So we're back at square one. All right, so here's the latest GFS. All right, so what we're watching, remember, oranges are high pressure areas, blues are low pressure areas. This is tropicaltidbits.com. We do have new updates on the Tropical Tidbits site, by the way. Levi put Ensembles now for Euro, which is great. Main operational run, though. So here we go. So here is the weekend. Now here's a little sign of low pressure. This is where the GFS started spinning up a storm this weekend. Now it's not. Crash and land. Weaker goes west. This ridge here, the high pressure area, the Euro has been showing it crashing. And, we talked a lot about land interaction, right? So GFS is caught up to the Euro on the idea of a lot of land interaction, and that's it. Nothing. Look, nothing. Zippo. I mean, maybe a little something pops out on the Pacific side, but as far as what it was showing, let's just go back a couple days. Let's go back to Monday afternoon. Watch. Whoa. Almost hurricane going towards Florida. So big difference. So with Trends Are Your Friends, that's what we talk about. Last night, 00Z, the same thing. A little bit of moisture here over the weekend. You'll see that right there, but nothing. Develops it late, nothing. Good to see consistency with models. Euro, nothing. So, yeah, there you go, man. We could take a day off. There's that. Nothing. Again, Pacific side might pop something going. Global tropics hazards map here has been showing this. Now it's backed off even. Remember, we did show this. They did show the possibility of something forming out here off of the, but now it's not even showing that. So, nada, Zippo, man. What do you think about that? Let's take a look at Ensembles now. I like Ensembles. This is where you still gotta, can't all necessarily say it's not going to happen, but trends are your friends. And here's the latest GFS Ensembles. So if we look at the weekend right here, it's pulling up a few members. Remember, there's like 31 members, and there's only now a handful. So, before we were seeing a majority of the ensembles pulling up towards the Gulf. So there are a few. So if you're one that wants a storm or wants to track a storm, then there's still a few ensembles that say maybe. Not as many, but the GFS is still thinking there could be a couple chances that this thing gets pulled upwards past the weekend. And this would be midweek. This has been the time frame that if we did get anything, it was weekend here and then like midweek here. But again, a lot less of the ensembles than we saw yesterday. And there's a few spitting some over here in the Pacific. All right, so there's that. This is all from that tropical wave. The Euro ensembles, this is all new now on Tropical Tidbits, which is great. You can go to lower dynamics and you click ensemble member MSLP. And let's rewind it. And here's our weekend coming up. This is 6Z. We got to go to 00Z. Here's the weekend. Starting to see just a few little bitty baby members. Most of them are over land. Keeping that rain chance over land. And then, nothing. More down south. Very consistent. Could it be the year of the Euro? It's had a rough couple years, but it's been calling for a weak system over land with more spitting out here over the Pacific. So there's almost no Euro ensemble support. And lastly, we'll go to the GFS or Canadian. Here is the weekend. And there's the weekend. There's a few little guys popping up here east of the Yucatan. And, a couple going north, a lot going south. So, again, it's not 100% that we're not going to get anything. It's just that it's just not looking like I'd put any money on it. Upper level wind shear. This is Wednesday of next week. Reds are very, very high winds. That's been predicted in the middle of the Gulf. We've been showing a lot of. So a lot of shear expected in the middle of the Gulf next week. Tough for a system to develop with that much wind shear. So that was one of the big suspects, was all that wind shear. Can't have wind shear. You can have enhanced MJO and warm water, but if you have wind shear. So yeah, let's talk about weekly weather, man. Just hang on a little bit. I get a lot of people asking about this weekend rains. We'll talk about it. I'm kind of rambling fast today, but it's all good. Our softball season ended, by the way. Sadly, the girls lost their semi-champs last night. Oh, man, it was awful. Emily had an error. Oh, it was bad. Not really bad error, but error. Tough way to end the season. Earnhardt, I was a big Earnhardt fan growing up. And the best quote in life, don't let one bad moment ruin a bunch of good ones. Trust me. Use that line. Do not let one bad moment ruin a bunch of good ones. Because you end a weekend racing, softball, foot, whatever. You end the weekend with a bad moment. Let's say you had a 5-touchdown game and your last throw of the game was an interception, or you had 4 hits and your last at bat was a strikeout. You tend to harp on that Mike said harp. You tend to harp on that last moment, but you got to look at the good moments. It's not always about that last moment. It's about what you did leading up to it, there you go. There's my daily dose of motivation. All right, so a lot of people always ask, I'll just ramble on about stuff, but people ask about the season. Yes, they're expecting an above-average season. Still early. It's only May. Remember, another reason I talked a lot about this GFS was it's just so odd to see a system in May, being shown, and there was quite a few ensembles, too. And we had a wave. It was very very rare to see an Atlantic wave come all the way across early season like this. It's almost two full weeks ahead of last year. So that was, hey, question mark. Here's our second wave already out there. Here's this wave. So it was like over 2 weeks ago we watched this wave all the way to here. Now we have another wave just popped off. So yeah, it's riding southbound. We'll see what Allman Brothers say about that. But anyway, that was interesting. Early season wave. And we're not done watching it. I'm not going to give up on it. We're going to keep watching it. But, so, like we talk about things like this, we have an enhanced stage of the MJO, and that helps tropical development the next 2 weeks, or a week and a half, 2 weeks. We have above average water temperatures. That definitely helps get things going. Water temperatures are above average right now, especially in the Gulf of Mexico. Really above average in the Gulf of Mexico. And you can almost detect our loop current here. I can't ever use that thing here, but our loop current, loop eddy is pretty big. In fact, remember Jeff Masters from Weather Underground posted an article yesterday talking about this loop current is expected to break off in the summer. Now, if you remember last year, we talked a lot about that loop current with Ida. Ida rode right up that loop current and strengthened quite a bit on its trek to Louisiana. It almost looked like that last year. Ida came off, remember, and basically scooted right up that sucker and fueled it. This is warm water in the Gulf of Mexico, so always something you look at for middle season. How much how this loop current will affect storm. Rapid intensification definitely occurs more over these loop eddies and currents than they do in cooler pockets of the water. But that's a little later in the season kind of stuff that we talk about. So we got the ensembles. Let me show you this couple of precipitation maps here, which is kind of interesting. All right, let's go to tropical tidbits. So what we got this weekend, let's just jump right into it. Storms today, by the way. We do have 3 different areas of storms popping up here. Kind of odd to see this, like a little triangle. But there you go. There's the storm chances today. A little bit of tornado chances, but mainly it's going to be wind and hail. We don't really talk much about this stuff this time of year. Everything slides to the north. The storm prediction stuff doesn't really pertain to like it does early in the season. Now, this little map came out today. I posted this one. This is your day 3 to day 7 hazards map. Now, this is kind of interesting. All right, let's just stop it right here. So, 5:20. This would be 2 days from now. Look at this. Heavy rain expected here through middle parts of Florida. Now, what you're going to see is we're going to see a flow actually coming off of that tropical wave. It's going to be pulled up into the Florida Peninsula. Kind of odd. I'm going to show you that. We also have a frontal boundary coming in this weekend, and we're going to have increased rain across the upper Gulf, which is much needed in this area right here. So we got heavy rain coming Friday, Saturday, stretching into maybe Sunday. A little bit of rain pockets here for North Carolina too. But look at this heat too. Excessive heat still Thursday, Friday, Saturday, into the weekend for the Northeast. So 2 areas of excessive heat still. But the heavy rain's got my attention. So let's talk about that. I think it's going to be neat to talk about our long range. So tropics, I'm done talking about the tropics. Remember, the most official graphic in the planet is this 5-day one. If you get too wrapped up about these long-range predictions, always refer to this. This is your official National Hurricane Center, NOAA, National Hurricane Center graphic. Nothing in 5 days. That means, if this thing started out with a colored crayon at 2 p.m., that means, the next 5 days from 8 a.m. It's confusing because if you got a yellow crayon come, tonight, that means basically 5 days from 8 p.m. So people always be like, hey, this morning it showed nothing. Well, this is the next 5 days up to 8 a.m. So that makes sense, but nothing brewing. So we're gonna slow down on talking about that wave. The wave is there, tropical wave. We got a CAG. We got heavy rainfall, flooding rainfall expected down there in Central America. Whether or not anything breaks off of it is yet to be seen. But we do have this. Let me see if I can see it on this map really good here. So this is what we got. This is interesting. So heavy rain for Florida on Friday. Now watch this. Let's see. I think we can see it better. Let's go to tropical tidbits. Click on southeast. Go to precipitation and humidity levels. This is a good one. I want to show more of the Caribbean, though. All right. So green is the amount of moisture in the air, humidity levels. And this is dry air, the browns, this is humidity. But watch this little area down here. Now watch this. This is our tropical wave down here, basically. Now watch this. We're going to see some of this get pulled up into Florida on Friday and Saturday. Watch. It's kind of neat. Look at that. You follow that? Look at that. Isn't that wild? So Friday, boom, Friday, right there, boom. Now I want high resolution some of these models. There's Friday, but watch this. A little bit of this moisture down here. It's really wild, man. This is our tropical wave right here. Now watch, piece of it breaks off, gets pulled up. Now think about it. That's been the common theme that we've been talking about with this tropical wave. Originally, it was going to get pulled up by an approaching front, right? We do have an approaching front coming this weekend, and that's generally what happens with these things. They get pulled up. It's just this didn't have enough time to organize, but it did. You know, it is bringing these higher rain chances for Florida, and we can see that with that map I showed, excessive rainfall for middle Florida. So this moisture is coming up. Look at that. Isn't that wild? And then here comes that frontal line. Boom. So incoming front over the weekend. Green is moisture in the atmosphere, and that's why we have excessive rainfall totals expected on the upper Gulf, stretching a little bit to the east. Pretty fascinating. Look at that. Boom. All right, so we got today's Wednesday. We might be able to get into Friday if we look at the HRR. We should see tropical moisture. That's what they're going to call it. Tropical moisture surge up from the Caribbean on Friday for... This won't go down that far, but we'll see. We might be about a day away. It's still only on 42 hours. You can start to see it teasing. Let's go to Tropical Tidbits. Go to the NAM 3km. This goes out 60 hours. Let's see if we can change our region to. I really can't get any farther south than that. It only shows Cuba, but we'll start to see. This doesn't go out that far yet. Darn it. You start to see this moisture get pulled up though, and the latest HRR is still running. It's only 42 hours out. Maybe 6Z we could see it. Yeah, see, look, you can start to see it. We're about 12 hours outside of that window to get the high resolution stuff. But as we get into Thursday night, watch down here by the Keys. Look at this. See the Keys? Let's just zoom in on Florida. Let's zoom in on Florida. All right. And here is that tropical surge. Look at that. This is cool as heck, man. This is overnight, Thursday night into Friday. There's that moisture coming up. Look at that bad boy. This is Friday morning. So the reason that this is all highlighted heavy rain is the time that this stuff gets up here midday, we're going to have daytime heating with tropical surge of moisture. So there's why we're going to have heavy rains on Friday for Florida. Isn't that exciting? I love looking at the future. What's up, Mark Halls? Tropical depression with spinach. Hey, you guys had a launch over there today, I seen, Shelly. Did you catch it? I'm going to read comments for a minute. Hey, Shelly's pumping the app. Yes, please. If you like apps, check it out, man. I get a lot of people liking it. You can download it for free and go to the website, which is great. I have other options on there if you subscribe to it. But a lot of people like it. Check it out. Also, you can be a subscriber to our page. We've done this the last couple of years. We have a lot of perks. People always ask us how to support the page and everything I do. We have perks. I think we're one of the only things in the world that gives back a lot. Stickers, shirts. This year we're adding a season magnet calendar for the 3s and the 5s. We're starting a new texting service that we're going to experiment with when anything's tropical that people need that want to get alerted on. And I'm only going to do the texting, I think, when I do it with the app. If the app notifications are good, because if we have a new invest, basically I'll only notification the text service for Cat 5s and the app when we get an invest, maybe a new area or a named system, because this basically the whole idea of the notifications and the texting is to alert people. Like, you might be going around having your normal life and, keeping the internet turned off, which is, a lot of people tell me they do now. But hey, we get a new Invest 90 out there in the Caribbean. Spaghetti models are on the site. You want to be notified, right? I don't want to miss it. There's nothing more in life than I love when the spaghetti models come out than to sit down, turn on Pandora, make a cup of coffee, and watch spaghetti models. What's up, Jim Bella? How you doing, buddy? Jim's a long time part of our page. Thank you, Mary Cross. Appreciate it. Michael, I'm doing great. How are you? Billy Venters. Hey, I seen you talking to Dennis. Billy over on the other coast. So yeah, we'll be doing live with Dennis. This ought to be fun. Hey, new subscriber. Look at that, Alan Wilson. Thanks for your support, buddy. Appreciate that. All right, so let's talk. All right, so we got weekend weather. Let's look at some long range stuff. So we do. Oh, people love talking about dust, right? Dust in the wind. Dust in the wind. We talked about that. Let me show you another map. Dust in the wind. Then we'll go into some weekly weather stuff and go from there. My eye's doing better today, by the way. I feel halfway. A story about my eye. This is crazy. I think it's because I fall asleep with my contacts in. The bottom line, I got to take the contacts out more. That's the bottom line because it dries them out. Hunter, you gonna come over here and say hi to everybody? Come here. Funny story about my eye. I'll tell you a little funny story. But so one morning I was warming up Emily back before I could because now she throws like almost 57 miles an hour. 50. I can't catch it. I'm scared to death. But 4 or 5 years ago, we were at a softball tournament, and I had to pull my contact out. So I had one eye. This one was, and I called change up. 2 turned, looked over there for some reason, expecting a change up. Turned my face. She threw a fastball, and it was like right here. And when it hit me, it hit my glasses, tore up my whole cheek down here to the point where I had to have like 8 stitches. And knocked me off the bucket, all because my contact was out because I had dry eye. So this has been going on a long time. And what's funny is yesterday we played at Newsom, and it was in Fishhawk. And Fishhawk is where the great eye incident happened of Emily Boylan. That was one of the last days I started catching for her. All right, here's the dust. Dust! Okay, so dust coming off of Africa, very common. Very, 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 very common, especially early in the season. You can almost get it. This satellite's tricky in the mornings because you get the sunlight. But if you focus like right here, you can see a big dust plume coming off of Africa. And we get these big, strong winds coming off of Africa in the early season, and it blows the dust all the way across the Atlantic. So it's kind of neat to look at. But there's our dust map. This is currently live. There's our big dust plume that came off of Africa. And you're going to follow this all the way across the Atlantic. Heavy concentration later today and tomorrow for the islands down there. But look at it curve. Now, what's cool about this, you know what it's curving around? Our big high pressure system. So all this dust blows in. Also another indicator that we had a lot of ridging going on that, possibly would prevented that from happening, which the GFS was showing, kind of went against all the models. But there's our dust. Look at that big surge. Holy cow, man. It's more than yesterday. Wow. So that's the 22nd of May. That's Saturday. Wow. All right. So here's your Saturday dust map. And that is dust in the air. Let's go to Gulf of Mexico. I don't know if we can do Gulf of Mexico. Tropical Atlantic. I guess we can just go to the U.S. here. Wow, look at that, man. That is crazy. This is the amount of dust, and you can follow it. Then it goes away. Bye-bye. Dust in the air. Look at that. Friday night's going to be epic sunsets. So you take your other significant other, and if you want a year, and you'll be a hero. Friday night, Saturday night, this week coming up. Dust, 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 dust. Now, coming in from Africa is the Dustmeister Bobby. All right, now I really want to know what's going on. So we got a front coming. Let's go back to Tropical Tidbits. We're going to talk about the weekend weather, and then we're going to get on out of here. My mom, oh my God, I made the classic mistake. I have to tell you a story, then we're done. Never enter passwords or credit card information on sites you don't know. We got scammed yesterday. Now she's getting weird tablet alerts. God, I should have known better. So I had to go fix her stuff for us. What I'm getting at. All right, so here's what's coming in. Let's take a look at this, and then I guess we'll go. I try to keep these short. My God, it's already 10 o'clock. Eastern U.S. All right, so we got a front coming down. This is GFS. This is on tropical tidbits. We got snow in the Midwest. Can you believe it? All right. All right, so here's what we got. All right, here's tomorrow morning. Now watch. We're going to start to see this big old moisture surge coming up from the Caribbean. Look at that. Boom, 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 boom. Look at that surge. I like that word. Word of the day, surge. Here's Friday. There's that surge. Now it's going to be ridiculous. There's that push of moisture coming up from the Caribbean. So, originally, remember that one model run that I said if I had to pick one that I believed in, it was basically an organized system, but basically this surge of moisture, there we go again. But luckily, it's speeded up way ahead of time. This is Saturday morning. So it's Friday. We got an unexpected surge of moisture. You can tell everybody. I think we should make a word, surge. Anyway, there it is, Friday. All right, here comes the front. All right, so here's Saturday morning. Look at that snow north of Texas. All right, so here's Saturday morning. Here's our frontal line coming in. And this is afternoon, normal shower. Saturday night, normal. We talked about yesterday. It's almost like you're going to flip a switch, the keys. The afternoon thunderstorms are going to be back for Florida, looks like Saturday afternoon. Now, these are tricky. This is where you use that HRR, is you want to know the flow. Like yesterday's flow kind of came in from the north, went south, but the HRR predicted that very well. Depending on how strong our high pressure system is, it depends on whether or not the sea breeze is set up and which way the storms go. So we know they start in the middle of the state usually, and whether they go east or west, you got to look at that HRR. It's a little too early to know what the flow is going to be on Saturday yet. But with an incoming front coming in, probably going to be more of a east. All right, so we got a front coming in, right? So the winds are going to start picking up more from the south, and they're going to start sliding ahead of this front. So usually this is Saturday, what we're looking at, Saturday afternoon. Usually storms will follow that path and go a little more east. But here's these rains for the weekend, and look, there they are. So heavy rains possible, not showing it too much on the GFS, but this is Sunday. There's our frontal line. Remember, this map here kind of magnified what we could be getting. Doesn't show up too well on that map, but this map here showed that we could have heavy rain here 2021. That'd be Friday, Saturday. This big green area here. That's the initial part of the front. 22, 23 right here. This would be what latter part of the weekend. So anyway, the idea is there's a front coming down. This is Sunday. There's our front. So, and then we can go to, I guess, does Euro? Oh, Euro has moisture now too. New map from Levi is great. All right, so here's that pole. Here's Friday pulling up. There's that rain coming up from the south, and then there's our frontal line Saturday and Sunday. Now this is showing our rainfall a lot better here, getting pulled up. That's why we're getting this heavy rain possibly on Saturday, Friday, Saturday. So we're getting some moisture pulling up still from that tropical wave down. Actually, a little left over from Florida's, but you can see that get pulled up. So there you go. There's Friday, Saturday. This is why we get this little moisture. There's our front. There's this moisture plume. Plume and surge. Words of the day. Interesting. Let's look at precipitable water on the Euro, because it looks like it's going to be fun to look at. It's always fun to look at precipitable water in the morning. Central America, Gulf of Mexico, precipitate the water. Wow, it's so cool. All right, here's our wave tomorrow. Red's moisture, yellow's a little moisture, greens start to be dry, blues are really dry. So this is moisture. We get into Friday. There's that. I don't want to say the word anymore. Friday, there it is, going into South Florida Friday morning and making its way up. It's still pulling itself up through the weekend, and there you go. This moisture getting pulled up from that tropical wave, and there's Saturday, and you'll see it. Really heavy rains possibly into the weekend. So not looking good for they want the rain, but could see some heavy rain here Saturday, Sunday across the upper Gulf. And it is from our tropical wave, our first, remember we named this thing Alf like a week ago? So you can tell everybody you're getting hit by what is called MWP Alf. We name our own storms here. We are so professional. MWP Alf incoming. Listen, and if you want the best verification ever, go to up here. This is the coolest feature I've ever added to the website right here. This little guy right here is my favorite thing today. New Orleans. Check it out. Just type in the area. You can go right direct to the National Weather Service website. Check out the rain forecast. And there you go. Saturday night. 70% chance of rain Saturday night. And then Sunday, we have 70% going into Sunday. They don't have a percentage on Sunday, though. But they have a lot. They say showers. Likely. Bad news, I know. But it's from Alf. Alf is coming to get you. It's very moist out today, Ryan Anderson. Pulse. Remember Pulse 13? Wasn't that Channel 13 Pulse? Wasn't that our name of our Channel 13 before it became Fox? I think our local Channel 13 used to be Pulse 13 CBS. Wasn't it CBS before Fox? I think. What the heck was it called? What was our channel? What was it? I thought it was Pulse 13 or something. I'm getting shoes. There must be a shoe called Pulse 13. No, now I'm really... Oh. Here we go. 1970. Here we go. Ah, it's supposed to be... I can't switch accounts. Damn it. Well, here's the logo of it anyways. Pulse 13. That was what it looked like. But it was 1977 Pulse 13 logo. Here, let me type up 1977 over here and see if I can find it. That was a logo anyway. Anyway, there's Roy Elite. He was part of that. But anyway, Pulse 13. I know it was Pulse 13. Maybe it wasn't. Who knows? Anyway, all right. Enough of that shenanigans. Hey, Stephanie Stokes. How you doing up there? Oh, man. Harder hurricane season. All right. Anything else we can chat about? Cats and Alf. I remember that, Eric. Hey, the Rays won big last night, right? Brett Phillips hitting some bombs, man. Love it. We're going to watch him tonight. We're going to our local Oldsmar Tap House in Oldsmar. So, hey, if you need a great little spot downtown Oldsmar, we got to support local. They're doing trivia tonight. Just don't come beat me. We always finish in the top 5, especially if there's 5 people, we finish 5th. All right, so bottom line is this. Let's just go back to the real deal here. Talk everything in a nutshell. So, tropical models, we're definitely picking up on this tropical wave getting pulled up possibly into the Gulf of Mexico, right? High pressure is too strong. It appears it's going to get shoved into Central America. That weaker goes west. I've heard that my whole, I can't say career because it's not really my career. My whole time doing this. Weaker goes west over Central America. We got a Central America gyre. Sometimes these things can spawn tropical systems. The reason, to be honest, I kept intrigued by the GFS was because it's been our top performing model the last several years, and we saw posted on Twitter for 7 days straight, 30 consecutive runs. It showed a storm or hurricane in the Gulf. That's unbelievable. 30 consecutive runs, and it appears that it's failed. So. We show all the models here, and hey, if you think I was hyping, cool. But it does appear that it's taken on more of a European style path. Some of the latest, I think it was the 6Z overnight, showed the vorticity of our latest GFS, and I love this map here on Tropical Tidbits. By the way, you can support Tropical Tidbits by donating to his site, which we do here at Mike's Weather Page, because we love Levi. He has provided us with graphics. He was the first to give us all these cool tools. Let's go to 8C 000. And one of them showed it really well here. This is really cool. So, all right, look at the weekend. Well, you know what? We can put it in motion. Can we put it in motion? We can put it in motion. Can we put it in motion? Yes, we can. All right. So there we go. All right, I'm running this sucker right now. So let me stop it, and let's show you what a CAG looks like. CAG, surge, and plume. 3 words of the day. All right, so this is Tropical Tidbits. All right, so here's what's cool about this. All right, so this is the weekend vorticity map here. As we got our winds, check this out. Winds rolling in, wrapping around, actually creating a huge low pressure bubble over Central America. CAG, Central America Gyre. And we'll see we see 2 little vorticity areas here and here. And like I said, sometimes Pacific systems get formed, sometimes Bay of Campeche gets formed, and sometimes they do that. That's big question marks, and nobody got it wrong. They just guessed wrong. But as far as the GFS goes, it really shows up well here on this. Look at that. See, little brief window development down here. This is Sunday, same time frame, Saturday, Sunday, this weekend. Oh no, that's, holy crap, I'm a week behind. That's what's wrong with the GFS. It stalled it out, but that's what a CAG looks like. That's what the problem with the GFS was. I pointed that out yesterday. When the GFS starts predicting things and it goes backwards in time, it's just confusing. And we see that over the years. Like, it'll show a storm on Monday, and then it's Tuesday, and then it's Wednesday, and then it's Thursday, and it's Friday, and then it's Saturday. Big sign that it's confused. But that was a good representation of what a CAG looks like. Anyways, how you can get development on both sides of the Caribbean. So anyway, big rain down there. If you're living that way, it starts tomorrow and lasts through Monday night. Heavy rain expected. So I know we got a lot of people down there watching. So all right. Well, we got to save something to talk about tomorrow. I'm going to reshare the Furman Live we did. It was a lot of fun. I don't know if Greg... Did you watch it, Greg Montgomery, or are you sticking around out west? It was a lot of good stuff we talked about. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Remember, you can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I'm going to do a little TikTok video here in a minute. I'm going to do those every other day, I think, on Instagram and TikTok. Also, I'll upload this to the podcast. So here's a link to the podcast up here. You can listen to the Daily Brew on audio if you want. I don't know why. That would be if you reach the end of the internet and there's nothing else in the world to listen to. You can listen to our podcast. Andy, the GFS strikes again. Yep. The only thing, man, Andy, is it stopped doing that. Remember, Canadian, the CMC model used to be nicknamed constantly making canes because it was doing that, and that was like 5, 6, 7 years ago. I thought we were past that, and now the GFS, hopefully that was a outlier and it doesn't do it again, but that's kind of what the Canadian model did for so long, and everybody laughed at it because it was constantly making canes. That was back before it was renamed to GEM. It's a gem with a G. So anyway, all right, that's about it. So have a great day. We talked a lot about weather. I'm going to highlight some things here later today. Remember, the words of the day is this. We're going to start quizzing people. Give away prizes. There's 3 words of the day: surge, purge, and CAG. No, pulse. Wasn't purge. That sounds cool though. It was surge, purge, and pulse, and CAG. And upside down. I don't know what do they say upside down. I don't know. I got notes on the back here. I have no idea what the. All right, so hey, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We really appreciate the support. Our numbers are always outstanding. You know, just very humbled by everybody, and I'm glad to see some people back. You know, love your feedback, love your comments. Don't be afraid to let us know what you're thinking. And yeah, so hey, we'll see everybody tomorrow. Cheers. Bye.